Film production basics, how to become a film producer. Most people who want to make movies think they know what the real challenge is, but most don't. That misunderstanding is why so many films get made and then go nowhere. There's a critical responsibility almost no one talks about, and when it's missing, the project is already compromised before the first dollar is spent or the first scene is shot. In this video, I'm going to show you what that missing piece is and why ignoring it quietly kills more films than bad scripts ever do. But before we go any further, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. We put these breakdowns together to walk through what producing actually looks like in the real world, not the romantic version, and you won't want to miss the next one. So, how do you actually become a film producer? In a nutshell, find a script you feel passionate about and want to devote a huge amount of time and effort to bring to life and then make it happen. So, at its core, producing means taking responsibility for a project from script to screen from A to Z. You know, the title producer gets used very loosely and a lot of people are eager to claim it. But a real producer is a person who assumes the risk and takes ownership of getting the project made. A producer figures out how to take a film from its very first state when it's nothing more than a great script and carry it all the way through, not just to delivery and release, but through the business life of the film. And that responsibility doesn't end when the movie comes out. In many cases, it lasts for the lifetime of the project, which nowadays can be forever. But finding a good script is only one part of it. One of the producer's key jobs is aligning the right creative elements. That means matching the right script with the right director and helping that director bring the vision to life, not just creatively, but practically. The producer is responsible for lining up everything required to make the movie work financially and logistically, and for coordinating all the moving parts that allow the film to function. Creatively, producers are often deeply involved in script development. A good producer understands how to walk the line between what makes a strong story and what's actually producible. Most early drafts aren't shooting scripts. One of the producer's jobs is guiding the material until it becomes something that can realistically be shot within real-world constraints. On the business side, the producer is a central point person. They oversee the financials, they coordinate with department heads, and manage relationships with distributors, sales agents, and other partners. That often includes marketing and PR, because making the film is only part of the job. Getting it seen is another, as you've probably experienced or have heard. Long-term, the producer is responsible for where the money goes, paying investors back, handling guild residuals, compensating third parties, making sure contracts are honored. None of that stops at release. The producer is accountable for the film's obligations for as long as the film exists. And this is not a role for the risk-averse. There are real pressures that come with producing, because when something goes wrong, as it inevitably does, the responsibility lands on you. We've seen this very clearly in recent, very public situations. Producers are legally responsible and the buck stops with them. And practically speaking, producing is firefighting. Filmmaking is messy at every budget level. Things break, people quit, schedules change, problems constantly come up, and when they do, the producer is the one who has to make the call and keep the project moving forward. My business partner and co-founder of Indie Film Ins and Outs here, Mark Klebanoff, he made his first film for $50,000, and he admitted that he didn't really know what he was doing as a producer on his first film beyond having to raise the money, which I think is most people. You have a vision and you just jump in with the intention to figure it out along the way. Mark learned a lot of valuable lessons and made a lot of mistakes that everyone does if they don't have a strong plan or a roadmap. And once he raised the money, he hired people who could execute the vision within the limits of the budget. That meant negotiations, hard conversations, and building a team that understood the constraints and could still deliver. And when issues came up, and they always do, it was on him as a producer to fix them. If something wasn't working out, he had to make the adjustment, fire them, replace them, solve the problem without losing time or quality. That responsibility always lands with the producer. The producer is the only person on a project who has to see everything at once. Everyone else is working in their lane: camera, sound, post, marketing. The producer has to track the entire film and make sure all of those pieces are moving together in the right direction. And here's the reality: unless you've done it before, or you don't really know how to do it unless somebody shows you exactly what to look for and which decisions actually matter. You can hire people in their positions, but this industry is full of people who sound confident and may not actually know what they're doing. Plenty of crew members understand how their department works, and they may be very good at it, and they may think they can tell you what you should do, but that doesn't mean they understand the big picture or producing. A big part of it is you have to understand contracts and agreements as well. Being able to sell your film relies entirely on this. Most filmmakers have no idea what delivering a film actually requires. When you sell it to a distributor, you have to deliver your film. It's not just the final cut, it's all about paperwork. And it's not the exciting part of filmmaking. But you have to understand how to do it well so your film can be successful. Filmmaking is creative, but at the end of the day, it is a business. And as a producer, you are a business owner. You still collaborate creatively, but your job is to launch and run that business successfully. And every film has its own company. Your name is on the LLC. Your name is on the contracts. You're the CEO, whether the budget is $10,000 or $10 million. The reality is once you take on a project as a producer, it becomes your responsibility. You can support the creative vision, but it has to operate within the framework you're accountable for. To investors, to distributors, that's what producing actually means. And it's difficult to know how to be a good producer when you've never done it before. Film school is great at teaching the creative aspect of film, but it doesn't teach you the business side of filmmaking. I worked in the industry for over a decade on set, in development, in post, in talent agencies. I went to film school and I never learned anything about the business side of filmmaking. And when Mark shared the realities of it with me, it blew my mind. And all the pieces that never really made sense instantly clicked. I could see why projects had been blocked and never moved forward. It wasn't due to a lack of skill or creativity, it was lacking business. And this is exactly why we built our program, the Complete Indie Producers System, to help filmmakers understand what producing actually is without having to learn the hard way. Instead of figuring it out through trial and error, we break down the entire process step by step, because if you've never done it before, how are you supposed to know what producing really involves, and most importantly, the business side of filmmaking? In our year-long program, we walk through the agreements, the contracts, and the delivery requirements, everything from A to Z about producing a profitable film, so you're not left guessing. Plus, you'll get weekly coaching and feedback, so you get the support and resources you need to fund and sell your film. So if you want help actually applying these concepts about becoming a producer, because understanding what a producer does is one thing, but learning how to do it well is another. We put together the Creative Producers Filmmaking Roadmap. It's the framework we use in our program to show you how to strategically put together a project from day one to set it up for success. This roadmap, it's not theoretical, it's practical. It's designed to help you make smarter decisions before you're already on set, already committed, and already carrying all the risk. So if you want that roadmap, it's linked below. And if you're interested in the full program, email us so we can get on a call and see if it's right for you. The email address is down below as well. This roadmap and program will help you avoid some of the biggest mistakes and pitfalls that filmmakers often fall into. There will always be unforeseen challenges on film sets, no matter how prepared you are, but the difference is having the knowledge to approach those challenges in a more professional, informed way. You are the captain of the ship, the general, and the first line of defense. You are the only one in charge of it all. Most people on set are focused on doing their one job well. The producer is the only person who has to see the entire machine at once and make sure everyone, from the production assistant to the director, has what they need to be successful. That also means being the decision maker at every level and ultimately being accountable to the financiers, the budget, the creatives, and the reality of whether the film can actually be sold. As a producer, you're the only reason the film gets made. Without you, nothing happens. So learn everything you need to know to put together a fantastic package and then go get your film made. The bottom line is producing isn't about the title, it's about responsibility. If you're willing to own the risk, make the hard calls, and carry a project from start to finish, you don't just get a film, you build a career, and you make movies that make people laugh and cry, moments that are possibly remembered forever. That's what being a real producer actually means. And that's what you can do too. So find a script you love, learn what you need to do to make it successful in the market, and then start producing it. If this breakdown helped clarify things, please like the video. It really does does support the channel. Subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos where we break down producing from a real world perspective. And go ahead and take a look at some of our other videos about film distribution or how to fund your film. In our videos, we talk through the parts of filmmaking that usually don't get explained: the planning, the strategy, real insights, and the business decisions that shape whether a project actually gets made or actually makes money. And if there's a question you're wondering about or a topic you want us to cover next, drop it in the comment. We read them and they help guide us on what we dive into next. We'll see you in the next one.